Hola, 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 hola. Hello, 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 everybody. Everybody looks like it's Anita. Thank you, Anita, for coming out. Looks like it's gonna be me and you hanging out tonight. I see Mary. I see Cooper Kai. Oh, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hi, Michelle. Michelle's in the house. That is my cuz. Hey, Timmy. How are you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Elizabeth. 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 How are you? Tammy says she can hear me. Anita says she can hear me. That's great. That's great. Um, which means I did something right. You know, if I don't do it every day, it don't stick. And I don't go live every day. Um, Lizzie's always saying, you should do some kind of upload. You know, if she could direct my show, y'all would see me every day talking about absolutely nothing. Um, so I wanted to kind of jump in. Love your new backdrop. What's my new backdrop? You talking about my craft room? My craft room. Um, obviously, it's been a challenging year. And one of the things that really started to kind of make a difference and bring me kind of back into the realm of reality was once I came back, I went on a cross stitch cruise. And that cruise was amazing to be around like-minded people. We had a great time. We laughed. We laughed. I'm crazy as it is, but we just had a really good time. And so I understand why, creativity and crafting and, Zen is a part of, your mental health and, setting like a positive mindset. So I came back, I felt I don't want to say rejuvenated because I still had a lot of work to do, but I definitely was improved and I was on the mend. And that's important. Um, Coming home, my son, he was like, Mom, TT, that's my daughter. So my son Prince, my daughter is Tiara, and I'm Princess Tia. Um, Welcome to our royal reign. um, my son say, "Ma, TT, she been, she been working and she trying to get this spare room set up for you." I didn't know what that really meant. And I came home and my baby, she was giving like a call to arms. There's Matt. What's up, Matt? How are you this evening? She was trying to help me, like, just get back into creativity and, you know, foster just a more creative mindset. And one of the things that I think I struggled the most with is when I'm trying a new craft, which I'm always going to do because I have a curious mindset. I want to know. I want to know what I want to know. And so she was like, she's going to give me an area where I can diamond paint. Voila! That's where I'm at right now. And then I don't have to like get up and move or change out or swap or anything like that. So then I have an area that's off to my left, and that's a big area, an area where I can play with my clay and work on different craft projects and things. Um, and I do that a lot. One of the reasons why I felt like it was important to start is because, as we get older, we reach in 29, things start to ache. So my fingers and my wrist were giving me a lot of problems around, 2018, 2019, and things like that. And so therapy is always recommended, but let's be honest, who wants to drive 20 minutes to 30 minutes, get to a therapist's office and, work these out? So some of the other options are, crafted crochet, knitting, because it helps with, your what is it? Your ambidextrous maneuvering, I guess is a good way to say it. And so polymer clay was it for me. Sculpting, I do a lot of sculpting and things like that. And so that was helpful. But there's other crafts and stuff. It's cross stitch, it's crochet. You guys have never seen me crochet. But there is a lovely lady out there. Her name is Cheryl Katz. She was one of my biggest enablers. Cheryl will see a sale on yarn. And you best believe I'm going to get the coupon. I'm going to get the ticket. I'm going to find all about it. It's going to tell me about where I can buy yarn that I'm not using. So, if you don't know the story, quickly give it to you. I was making a blanket. My father loved handmade, homemade, crafted items. Loved it. If it's a blanket, if it's a pot holder, if it's a pillowcase, curtains, you name it, if it's handmade, he loved it. He even contracted one summer. My dad had a timeshare in Aruba. He used to go to Aruba every year, enjoy himself, vacation, left us behind, didn't take us. But he would definitely, undoubtedly, indubitably take all his women friends. He was a good looking, attractive man. And so a lot of women used to love, they couldn't wait to hit on him. And it was my job as Princess Tia to vet his women. Long story short, he would take them, and so they would make various craft products and things like that. And so he one year commissioned I want to call this person a tailor, but they weren't the most professional. He commissioned them to make him, he was very tall, he was 6'5", and he wasn't a small man, hence my shoulders. Um, so he wore like a 2X for a man. He was very tall, 6'5". So obviously getting someone to create a wardrobe for you, that's a tall order, if you will. So he hired a tailor to sew his entire wardrobe. We went through pattern after pattern. We went through fabric colors and choices. We matched everything up. When he gets to Aruba, he is going to be fly because I helped. Long story short, he's flying out on a Wednesday. I think he was flying out on a Wednesday. And the last part of the item's supposed to arrive on a Tuesday. I'm still waiting on this man to come with over $1,000 worth of merchandise, of which my father had already paid, I think, $750. He took the 750. I don't know if any fabric was probably ever purchased, and he never received any of those clothes and things like that. So, that was a heartbreak for him. I went out last minute, me and my aunt, my dad's sister, and we tried our hardest. We tried our very hardest to get him some fly wear, some gear and things like that. Of which, we had him looking choice and things, but his heart was broken because that's how much he appreciated handmade, unique items and things. So, with that said, I've started crocheting. That was the first thing that I ever did. And I think I started 77, 78, somewhere like that, just a little pup. And used to make all kind of stuff, blankets. Everyone masters the art of the granny square. So I crocheted. I came into cross stitch maybe 79, um, 80, somewhere around there. It was going into the 80s and things like that. And I used to, we all do. We all put emblems on the bottom of dish towels. We all make little shapes and things and turn them into pillows. That's what we do as crafters. So my dad had all kind of blankets, everything. He had a closet full of them. He'd switch them out when it came to the different seasons and things. Oh, it was amazing. It was so amazing. We going, span through, high school and things. We're going to come into the early 90s. I'm coming out of college and I'm about to start working. Now I have a little extra time. So when I get home from work, I'm not studying. and so I can go back to crafting and things. Kids come along, you kind of put that on hold again. Then, coming into the 2000s and things, he got sick. So I'm making more stuff and things for him. Long story short, some of the reasons why you guys don't see me crochet, but it's still crazy that I will buy yarn, is because I was making the masterpiece of blankets, the best pattern I've ever had. I was working on. I was making this for my dad, and I got sidetracked. Started watching the show. For whatever reason, I wasn't working on it like I should. And Christmas is coming. Christmas is big in my house. When I tell you, Christmas is huge. So if you know anything about our family, you'll know that um like they called us Christmas. Like we did everything. We went to Cranax. Cranax is like this big winter, Christmas wonderland. Um, and it's open only throughout, the Christmas holiday. We bought ornaments and things like that. We enjoyed their hot apple cider as we walked outside through. They decorated their acres and acres of Christmas trees and things. Um, we went we went caroling. How many people do you know still do that? So when I tell you we had a pond that froze over and things like that, and we would have events and lights. We had a waterfall. It was handmade. My dad created this waterfall. He did an excellent job and things like that. But he was trying to create his own winter wonderland. Christmas was his favorite holiday. And I don't know why, because both his parents passed away on Christmas. He had a sister. His oldest sister, she also passed away on Christmas. And as I'm preparing, doing everything I can, but I'm still sidetracked and things, preparing to get this beautiful blanket completed. Yeah, and the pattern of all pattern, gorgeous colors. Um, Whenever someone sees this, they always ask me about, where'd you get the pattern at? Where'd you get the pattern at? Christmas comes. My kids were little at this point. They're home. I'm trying to make sure Christmas is all that for them, And I get the call on Christmas. Same call my dad got with both of his parents and his older sister. My dad passed away, and I never got to finish the blanket. So some of the reason why, even though you guys will see me talk about crochet and you guys will hear me, talk about these yarn sales and how pretty yarn and things like, the reason why you've never seen me is because it's very difficult for me to pick the needle back up. I was almost done with the blanket. I put it off longer than I probably should have. And I do, unfortunately, this time of the year, think about it every year and things. But one of these days. Now, Marissa, if you guys know who Marissa McCartney is, she is the host of the Lone Star Retreat. Marissa sat with me at the 2020, the very first Lone Star Retreat. And she sat with me as I tried to pick up a needle, and I tried. They were making, I believe they were dishcloths and things like that. And she did sit with me, and I got my chain done, and I was trying to go back through. We were doing single crochet. It wasn't going to be anything too difficult and things. Shout out to Marissa, because I did get a few rows done. I think I got 3 rows done. But obviously the last time that I had crocheted, I felt like I was up against a deadline. I was trying to hurry. I didn't get it off in the mail in time and things. So I felt like I had to punch a clock and things like that. I say this because, it's that time of the year where we have so much going on. We have our, family that's coming around a little bit more. We're getting into a holiday spirit. We cooking. Woo! We eating good. We're filling up these shoulders, right? And then on top of that, we might feel some other pressures and things like that coming on. I know I keep messing with Matt, and I'm gonna find you some money, Matt. I'm gonna find you some money, Matt. But literally, I don't want someone to feel when it comes to crafting maybe the weight of the world that I put on my shoulders. So I did feel like, man, I don't have time to do anything. I need to worry about this, finish this blanket. But, my baby, she need this. And my son, he need that. And so crafting, as I started off saying, really should be about that zen, that peace, that serenity that we all get when we sit down and we able to detach from, so much other things that's going on in our world. What do you guys say? You guys think that that's why you craft? Obviously, some of us craft because we got a little investment in it and it's a nice ROI, return on the investment. We spend this money on crafting and things and we have a ton of everything. If you ask me, I don't think you a true crafter if you don't buy all of the things that you may possibly might could maybe need when you are doing that craft. Obviously, that's what we do. So I would like to see what it is that you guys do. Are you crafting for peace and zen? Are you addicted? How many of you are reaching the height of your addiction as you craft? And while you think about that and while you answer those questions, let's talk about what the weather's like in your neck of the woods. So today, it was supposed to be in the 80s, which is still good weather, still good weather. And I wasn't expecting this, but it started raining. Like it started raining. Where did the rain come from? So while you guys tell me again, I live in the Mojave Desert. That's Las Vegas for some people who like, especially if you live in Phoenix or know people in Phoenix. That's the other end of the Mojave Desert. I'm on one end, they're on the other. Just to kind of give you guys perspective. So, and they are probably about 4 to 5 degrees warmer. So if I'm bothered, it's really really hot in Arizona. So while that's going, while you guys are popping in, let me see. I see some new faces. Um, Matt's over here saying I'm gonna be a backup singer. That might be true. Now, if you don't need the notes to be perfect all the time, because she tone deaf in one or both. If I can hear me, especially an echo helps me out. But like, if you got the speakers pointing elsewhere and I can't hear me, you're gonna get the notes that come out. They may not be correct. Everyone's saying hello to one another. That's great. Hi, Billy. How you doing? How you been? See, Jenny, TLB a backup singer. Yes, we can all sing together. Susan, what's up, Susan? How you doing? Everyone saying hello to Anita. Rochelle, how you doing tonight, Rochelle? I thought you were only 29. Look, I'm 29. I'm fighting it. Okay, and this year, some aging has definitely come upon me. Aches and pains. Earlier this year, I remember telling you guys, as if I wasn't going through enough, I had a sciatic nerve issue. Went to the doctor. Doctor started talking about medication. I'm scared. I was on like 5 prescriptions at the time. And I was also, they were monitoring, neurological for the stroke and things like, and blood pressure. So I didn't want to be on anything else. And they were talking about, back pills and back pain and stuff. You guys know how all of those, you CSI and SVUs, all of those start with someone who had some kind of back pain and then they got addicted to the back pain medication. And next thing you know, they on the show. So I didn't want to be on the show. Long story short, I did what I could to deal with the pain and things. If I could take a few extra ibuprofen, which I did, then I would be okay. For some reason, maybe because I was under a lot of stress last week, I could not get out of Las Vegas to save my life. And I missed the retreat. I'm over it. I'm not going to cry anymore. Long story short, my back, and it goes across my back and down my leg, similar to how a lot of you guys were saying your sciatic nerve But mine didn't hurt like that. Mine was just like a buttock pain before, and the buttock cheek hurts and things. But now it's connecting. I feel like y'all jinxed me. But in any case, I am taking the pill. I don't want to be addicted, so I'm not taking it as prescribed. They said to take this 3 times a day. I'm like, you're really trying to turn me into. So I am taking it once. I skipped a day and the pain came back and I took it one more time. Um, my back, butt, and leg. It's the leg where I got shot. It's the leg where, I have hip problems. If you ever see me at a retreat the first couple of days, I'm moving because I've been doing everything I needed to do. But by the last 2 days, you guys know that I'm sort of limping and I'm more stationed at my seat. It's like 3 times that pain. But with that said, I am able to just get a little bit more done. I have not driven this week. I do kind of miss it. I miss these crazy people telling me about they stories and their lives and who they're here to see. I met a group of people, men. Um, it was a good looking gentleman. He was my age, 29, 30, and he was here with a younger fella. The younger fella ended up being his future son-in-law. He came here to Vegas with his future son-in-law to, to have the bachelor party. Um, I'm gonna give y'all one. I want y'all to drop down in the comments where you think I was taking them. Oh, that's gonna be fun. And while we're doing that, um, Marquita, Kiki, how are you doing this evening? Um, Marquita sent me a picture of her and her grandson. They look so cute. He was helping her diamond paint. And I told her that's how me and Prince started. I told her the difference is her grandson a lot smaller and he fit on her lap a little bit better. So it was a gorgeous picture. Thank you so much for sharing. Literally, I was sitting at my desk. I had come across this craft. It was highly addictive. And my son, he's over my shoulder. And so I'm like, like swat them away like a fly. What's going on? So he's trying to get closer to see what I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm plucking. Um, as Sue Layton says, that should be placing. But I called it plucking up because I was plucking diamonds down. And he comes closer. There's not a lot closer you can, these shoulders aren't little. And so, yeah, he ends up sitting on my leg watching me diamond paint. Now, he's 6'2". So he literally was much bigger than your grandson, Marquita. But if you guys know, when I first started the channel, he was my co-host and we did the show together every Wednesday night. He works now Wednesday nights. And when he crafts, he's definitely crafting by himself. But my Gail is in the house. How are you doing this evening? Um, Kupaki says, I went through a slump after GLE. I lost that zen, but I recently got back into it really quickly. Why don't you share with us? Because there are those times where, we go through that. What did you do, Kupaki, that made you, kind of, come back over to the crafting side and things? It was lost for me for a while. I used to get teased. I was getting teased because I wasn't completing them. I would start. I was becoming what they call a serial starter. I would start long as I plucked or put a couple of drills down. I felt like, I'm doing something. Um, but completions, I guess, matter. So I'm trying to get back into that. But for me, I really felt a connection when I returned to double-sided adhesive. I don't know why, because it was a horrible experience. I keep talking about it because it was a horrible experience. But it did give me that zest back where I first remembered, diamond painting. And, I remember I couldn't wait That's how it was. Like, let me drop this last person off so I can get on home. I got this, plus having this space separated out. I think that helped also. So I have a diamond painting space now. And then if my mind is not there and I want to move over, and my hands, you guys know I lost a lot of sensitivity in my hands. They're back almost 100%. So that's really great. And now I'm back, with my clay station, and I'm sculpting and things like that. I do have a cross stitch area. The cross stitch area I'm still working on, because I'm trying to get to the point where, I have my little lounge set up, and the lounge set up, I can just put my feet up and work on a project, and it's at a good angle to where I can either see my laptop or my iPad, or I do have a TV in here. My daughter, she did a good job in creating this craft space, and I get excited when I come in here. I can't wait to come in here. I don't come in here to just kind of hang out and do nothing. I make sure when I come in that I am working on something, so I can separate, things I have to do versus something that I want to do and I'm looking forward to doing. So with that said, let's see the weather in your area. 66 degrees in Colorado. Is there snow in your forecast? Elizabeth said, I could listen to you tell stories about your life all day. Pretty chilly today in Oklahoma. All righty. So that means that it's getting close. It's almost Christmas. Now, I will say, even though Christmas is a tragic time in our family, it is also my favorite time of the year. I start November 1, and I do go through Christmas Epiphany, which, 12 days of Christmas starts at Christmas when Jesus was born. And then, as the gifts arrive over the next 12 days, Christmas, the feast, and all that ended on the 6th. But there are times where I may go through Candlemas. One moment. I'm losing one of my screens. I don't know why. I don't know what just happened. You probably could still hear me, but I lost my admin screen. Let me see if I can get back in. Um, I have an admin screen, and the reason why this screen is important is because it's the only way I could show what's in my cart when I'm showing what's in my cart. When I'm showing what's in my cart. But Candlemas is, I think, through the 19th. So some people who leave their decorations up through the 6th of January, that's, them celebrating Christmas Epiphany. Some people, they go all the way through Candlemas. I believe that is January 19th. And then I forget what day it is. There is one final one, but it's in February. And so I was checking and asking, like, how long do people leave their trees and things like that up? When do you put yours, take your decorations and things down? And if you guys don't know who Joanne is, Joanne, crafting and chat with Joanna, she told me she leave hers up until February. So next question on deck: when do you take your decorations down? Tammy says still diamond painting, but not as long as like I used to. And there is Mud Nuts. Hey, Mud Nuts. It's 45 in Missouri, 42 in Maryland. Marquita says, I craft to relax and to get peace of mind. Tammy says, mine went from buttock down my leg into my hip. Yes. So that mine is starting to go down into my leg. I'm not sure why, but it does go across my back. It kind of starts like sort of at the middle. Then it goes over towards the left. And it comes down into the buttock, which that's where it was. But now it's coming down further, into my left leg and stuff. So I don't know. I do still have the bullet in my leg, in my knee. From when, if you guys don't know, years ago, and I'm pretty sure you'll hear the story again. It's a lot of people's favorite story, to be honest. Like, oh, my favorite story was she talked about how she got shot. Oh yeah, she was eating some French fries coming out of McDonald's and boom, boom, boom. So a lot of people like that story. I do tell it because that's how I, kind of in the past dealt with, any trauma and any, mental issues, sadness, and things. It was through humor. And you guys know I spent some time trying to become a famous stand-up comic, and she live here in Vegas now, so that's how that happened. But I'm not famous, and I'm not a stand-up comic. So you guys just, get to chuckle with me at some of these stories that, you know, I love to share because it does give me some peace and zen. But that leg where the bullet is, and that might be why the pain didn't go all the way down for me. That is where, I'm getting this sciatic it's really bothering me, but I'm taking the pills. That's the good news. I don't want to be on pills forever. So the next step the doctor said was some sort of physical therapy. I don't know if I want to do that. We'll talk about that. um, it's 48 in St. Louis, Missouri. Tammy says the strip joint. Exactly. Not only were we going to the strip club, but they asked me, the father, the father-in-law, asked me for suggestions. And you ought to seen the look on my face. I'm like, excuse me, do it. With all due respect. And the son-in-law started laughing before I even got it out. Sir, does it look like I hang in the strip clubs so that I could give you my honest review? I mean, that was literally, which one do you recommend? Oh, we're going for the closest one since the ride's already paid for. Now, if I was a hack, that's a taxi cab driver, I'd run you around the city. but but I thought that was pretty funny. Pocky said I found a partial in my stash. I decided to just place 5 drills. That was all I committed myself to do. It made the project not so overwhelming and I needed baby steps. I feel like that's like the key to kind of overcoming that burnout is finding something that's not so overwhelming and kind of baby step your way back in. So I got back into my chain mail because I committed to a craft fair at our church and I didn't want an empty table. Oh, I like that. Matt says it's 46 here in PA today when it's convenient in mid-January. Okay, I like that. I went through a mental breakdown a few years back. That's what happened to me, Elizabeth, this year. And the tree stayed up through the next Christmas. Do you guys remember a few years ago when I had the brilliant idea? So my son has this thing, Prince. My son has this thing that Thanksgiving is the most disrespected holiday out of them all. It's the one holiday where we don't pay any just due. We get that one day, we greedy, we come, we fill our shoulders up and we eat and then we on our way. We forget the meaning behind it and we don't give it any justice or due. So, because he said that, I told him he is right. Every holiday deserves its own due. So, this year, I want to say that was 2021 when he made the statement. And so we decide going into 2022 we are going to be respectful of all of the holidays and they were all going to get their own Christmas tree. Y'all remember that? I do. So we had a Thanksgiving tree, we had a Christmas tree, then we had a winter tree, which I don't know what's the difference between Christmas and winter, but we worked it out. We took out all of the red and we left like icy pretty blue, white, and I think we had some mauve on the tree. We had a Valentine's tree that was cute. We had a St. Patrick's Day tree with all the Celtic. Oh, it was really cute. Great idea. For April, now that year, I think Easter was the same, might have been the same year, can't remember. But we also had an Easter tree. That was April. That was an easy holiday. I mean, you could buy Easter everything. We bought the little eggs, hung them. It was a really good idea. May was some challenges. We couldn't come up with what we gonna do for May. It was Memorial Day and things like that. It was the end of the month and things like that. So we ended up we celebrated me, moms. June was another challenge. We did a birthday tree, and that was hard to do also because we have a lot of family whose birthday is in June. So we decided to do a birthday tree in June, but it was me. Like, obviously, my mom's birthday is in June. My son's birthday is in June. I had two friends, their birthday is in June. And I felt like it's me doing all the work again. Here come mom again. And then by July, 4th of July, the lights on my tree, yes, the lights stayed on 24 hours a day, round the clock. That was the key. Staying on 24 hours a day, round the clock. By July, this is another easy holiday to buy for if you're going to do a holiday month tree. The 4th of July, it's decorations everywhere. Heck, you can get 4th of July paper plates. You can get the little mini ones, staple them, just dangle them, hang them off of a tree. But the lights, we were sitting there one evening watching TV, and all of a sudden we heard poof. You know, my trees aren't expensive. My dad, he spent 3-4 thousand on a tree. He One year when we went to Cranax, he loved the tree so much. He spent $2,000. He bought the entire tree, all the decorations and everything. And he spent another 2 or 300 to get some of the Cranax employees. Matt, do you know where Cranax is? Because you live in Pennsylvania and you might have been there. To have the Cranax employees bring this specific tree and all of these decorations to the house and recreate it or get it there without breaking anything. So my trees I get at Walmart, and I doubt if I've ever spent more than $100 on the tree. So maybe it's not a good idea to let a Walmart tree run 24 hours a day, every day, starting November 1st. And now we heading into July. This might not have been a great idea. But we're sitting there, and Walmart tree, you got to put it together. So we had the bottom, we had the middle, and then we had the top. So first went the bottom, and it went poof. That was literally, and I swear this is not funny. But my mother, she was staying with me at the time, and she burst out laughing. Whoop, there go your tree. You guys remember how deep her voice was? She used to always be hollering and talking over me in the background. Anyway, she started clowning me. And meanwhile, my lip was just getting bigger and bigger. I was I was on the verge of tears. My tree poofed and the lights went out. And then you seen this little puff of smoke. I was so upset. The middle part of the tree, those lights still work. And obviously the top part where we had we did keep the star, y'all. Maybe, I don't know if that was a good idea, but we did keep the star. We didn't change that out. Um, Couple days go by. It's now time to get ready. I don't ask me why, but I was holding out for hope, okay? Holding out for hope. We sitting, having another family night. Lo and behold, the tree go up in smoke. All the decoration, everything on it. And my mom is grabbing her sides. You know who turned on me next? The baby. Tiara. She laughing. I look over at Prince. That's my son. And I say, don't worry. I understand. I'm not going to disrespect. He's on his disrespect kicked again. I'm not going to disrespect the tree. So, needless to say, I have bought two more trees. I guess I got to stop shopping. This is not sounding great, but I guess I got to stop buying my trees at Walmart. I bought two more trees, and all of them went up in smoke the same exact way. The good news, is that I've always been home when they've gone up in smoke. So maybe this year I should buy my tree somewhere else. And maybe I shouldn't leave them on 24 hours a day. When you guys buy pre-lit trees, do you leave them on? Do you turn them off? What's that look like for you? And back to the comments. Let's see. Um, I put them up Thanksgiving weekend, take them down weekend after Christmas. I start decorating November 1st, and everything is down January 1st. I do an Advent Lego with my husband in December. I remember you telling us that. Yeah, Tammy. Uh, Here we go again. Something's wrong with this laptop. I don't know what, but I don't like it. Um, Kupaki's a June baby. Also, sorry, wasn't paying a ton of attention, but have not heard of them. Turn them off. I put mine on a timer on at dusk, off at dawn. Okay. I turn the treadmill off before bed and when I leave the house. Um, I feel like, there's a lesson to be learned there. It's a lesson. It's a lesson to be learned there. Alrighty. So I was trying to, me always trying to enable you guys for the what's in your cart section. I was literally trying to go through some things. But today, you all must have gotten the same email that I got or notification. That notification, sorry, just coming back in. Just making sure the admin microphone is off. It's acting slow today. So the notification said that the did y'all see that light come on by itself? I didn't touch it. Just saying. My ghost be here over my shoulder sometimes. Um that advent calendar, the one I bought a couple years ago, it is out. It's available for sale and the price has gone up. I want to know who got that on their list, who's buying it, and if you're going to unbox it and show everything. That's what I want to know. I do like that they gave you a breakdown. Did you guys see that? They gave you a breakdown of the things to expect. So at least there's no surprise that one of these holes is going to be cover minders. And another one of these holes is going to be washi tape. So with that said, I want to know who has it in their heart. Did you get that advent calendar? I think I'm going to hold off. I'm gonna hold off this year. Now, when that came up, you guys know how if you say something, you see something, you click on it, you look at it, then all of a sudden you get. So after I clicked on it to see, I do like the packaging, but after I clicked on it to see, oh, what's this? Well, what could be? Um, there were two other. There's I guess a Temu Diamond Art Advent calendar. That's by Temu. There's another one. I can't tell who it's by. It's generic. It's like pink and purple. It looks like there's a lot of stuff in there. It's a lot less. It's a lot less. So I did see that. And then there's, if I recall, Gail says, if I recall, you were not very excited about that. That video was so funny. The video was funny because I am usually I'm Rose. Out of my sister group, I'm Rose Nyland. And that means, I try and keep everything positive, upbeat. But I spent hard-earned money and used $50 worth of points. So this was something I'm like, oh, it's gotta be good. Look at the price. Oh, it must be so good. And I waited to open the items live on a live. And y'all got Y'all got all of this hopes and dreams and expectations. Y'all got to see everything play out live. My facial expressions, I couldn't hold them. And I wasn't happy. And as I fought, my poor fingers fought through hard. I mean, this cardboard was hard. It was like they were sealing it for life. No postman is going to be able to get a quick pick and see what's in here. No siree. It was hard to open. And so I fought through each of them holes to share with you guys. Whew. I just remember thinking, I spent how much on this? And even though I used points, which means I didn't spend all of all of it, in cash, it still wasn't a great purchase if you ask me. So I'm gonna hold off, but I want to know which one of you guys are gonna get it so I can watch you unbox it. I can't wait for that. That was supposed to say tree. Okay. So you turn your tree off before bed and whenever you leave the house. That's a good note. I'm gonna think about that. I love looking at Christmas lights. I really do. I go on a tour and I ride around trying to find Christmas lights. I do it by myself because my kids, they're not kids no more. They adult little mini me's, and I will ride around by myself trying to find lights. If it get dark at 4:30, I'm out by 4:22, trying to get to the neighborhood where the lights are. That's how much I love Christmas lights. And I could sit in the house and in the room where the Christmas tree is. The TV doesn't have to be on, no mobile device or anything. I'm just enjoying my lights. So I always try and make them, festive and things like that. There is an unboxing of it out already. Do share. Do share because I got to go and watch it. Every year when you mention it, I just bust up laughing. It was it was an experience. So I can say, if I recall, I wasn't happy. What I tell y'all? What did I tell? How do we start this show off? Y'all see Cheryl Katz? What did she just do? What did Cheryl just do? Lion Brand 30% off, no code needed. Shay! It's been a while. Hey Shay, how are you? How you been? Um Happy hump day to you too, Cheryl. How you doing? I just told them the story about you and the yarn. You sending me all these coupons, got me running to buy yarn that I have yet to use. Mary says Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper. I think it's a channel with the unboxing. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I missed you too. uh, I bought it and I watched the unboxing. 20% off code worked on it. Okay. That's good. That's good. That bring it down below where it was before. Before I used points and paid. Did I get made? Oh, you did a good job. You did a good job. So, needless to say, I saw again one on Temu or Timu, however you care to say it. I did see a diamond art craft advent box. I think it says Shine, however you say it. I've heard it pronounced a couple ways also. There is one through Walmart. It looks like it's $26, I think it said. Again, there's a few of them out there at this point. And then obviously there's the well-known one that we are, referring to. So clearly there's an unboxing to it. I plan to go and search and watch the unboxing, and I just want to see what or what would the old Tia come back and I'd be like, what the hell happened? Um so it's been a while. Time to pick up that blanket. Still waiting. I love you so much, girl. I do. I love you so much. I just shared with everybody how you are my biggest enabler and how you have me buy all of this yarn to, to get back into crochet and things, and I still have yet to do it. Yes, Mary, that's who I seen. Haven't watched yet and had no plans on getting it. Matt don't have no plans on spending no kind of money. I gotta work on him. Like, is he hey Matt, quick question. Do you have a glue gun? Because that's gonna tell us really where you are in your crafting journey. If you don't have a glue gun, then are you really a crafter? We got to get Matt a glue gun. That's what we got to start with. Do you have a glue gun, Matt? That's a good question. So, with that said, I have been kicked out of this room 3 times on my admin laptop. It's not looking good that I'll be able to bring these pictures in. They doing some new stuff. It's horrible. What about a staple gun? Staple gun, yeah. That's how I used to hang my diamond paintings. I would staple them to a canvas, a wood with the wood frame. I'd staple them, and then it made it easier to hang up. uh, she's a DAC employee, so I have to take that with a grain of salt. I have a cordless glue gun. No, not cordless. That uses my Milwaukee Tool batteries. What? You are that into it? Okay. That's what I did. Yes. Yes, that was one of the first things that I did. I got it from my son. So Prince, he want to hang his diamond paintings in his room. And so because he want to hang them in his room, he got to have a way to hang them. And he didn't want to just take the, canvas like we do and, you know, put some tape on it and tape to the wall. He wanted to look nice. So he got a canvas and he taped his to the canvas. It kept sliding off, but he taped it and stuff. I was like, well, when I get done with mine, I'm not gonna mess with tape. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna staple it. So I got a little stapler. It was a little like one of them office staplers. It didn't work. It didn't work. I had to go out and I got me my own little Stanley. Uh Make sure your hands are out of the way. I got real close and I felt how close I got when I was, whoo, almost got me, almost stapled me to the canvas. That would have been dangerous. But I just hit the side on the side of my finger. It was close, but there was no staple in there. So I got that from him. I think it was a good idea. The unfortunate part is, these canvases, they can be all different sizes. This is a 30 by 30. Good luck finding a 30 by 30 when it comes to a canvas. So sometimes what you have to do is cheat, other things. What are some other ways that you guys have decorated yours? People put them in frames and things like that. I took some tempera. It's a real cheap acrylic paint that you find at the Dollar Tree, and I painted around. I had a real large one. It is by Mandy Manzano, and what is the name of Nola? It's the Nola, and I painted around it with some tempera acrylic paint. Then I didn't like it at all. It was so ugly. It was green. It was horrible. It's like, oh, what did I do? So then I'm like, I got to find a way to, make this look more. I found some glitter paint and I painted around the outside with the glitter paint. And that came out nice. You could see the sparkle and things like that. Now, because this was a larger size, I think this is an 83 by 55 or something like that. At this point, I didn't want to mess up the edges and stuff. So I had to use two. I think I used two 30 by 40s and I put them side by side and I had to staple them together. But then I was able to put my canvas on there. It looks nice. And she hangs in the living room. So just to kind of give you guys an idea. Um, Matt says, no, I'm just also a guy, so the craft budget and the tool for everything budget gets shared. I get that. I do. I get that. I have a craft budget, but the reason is because once the kids were up in age, And I no longer was toting to sports events and, being the team mom and helping transport kids from this sport home. I did it all. Paying, helping pay for this camp, helping pay for that sport package. Um, Once they were done with all of that, I had that extra money available to now do the things that I like. And I set the budget, and I wanted to come up with a number that I wouldn't feel shamed for utilizing. And that number also goes towards not only craft items, but the retreats and things that I go on. So I think having a craft budget was a necessary resource, and even in my downtrodden times, like when I lost my job in 2020. And you guys probably heard me talk about this a million times. My sister Rebecca, she was really there for me. She helped me go through I was applying for everything, and I was starting to get a lot of stuff in. But the unfortunate part was, um, they weren't paying. None of these jobs were paying what I was making at my prior job before, we unfortunately, took a hit because of the pandemic. And so, but she did. She helped me go through all of these emails and ferret out the better options. And then we were at a retreat, and she like, now get on your phone. We were out in the middle of nowhere. I can't get a lot of reception. We're not able to get a lot of calls. It's hit or miss. We were in McQueeney, Texas, and we were at like a rustic ranch. So it was hit or miss. But I remember she said, get on the phone and start calling these people back and seeing, because when the offers was coming in, I was like, pfft. Now it's been a month and a half, almost maybe 2 months and things, and I'm like, and she like, call them back, see if the offer's still good, and if the offer is still good, set something up. So I found like the 2 or 3 best ones, called them back, see if the offer was good. And there was one where, even though like I was making like 84 at the time, none of these jobs were paying that. Like all of these jobs were in the 50s and 60s. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I was trying to get at least close. But she say, pick one that has the best opportunity for like growth. Pick one that has the best opportunities, still a kin, but you can maybe see yourself, down the road. She gave me some great tips and stuff, because that's nothing that I have ever done. I've never gone back and tried to see if something was still available, and they were. And they were. And one lady was like, we'd love to have you, still have your resume. We hadn't heard from you. We were wondering. It had been 2 months. 2 months. We went to the retreat in October. They sent me this offer letter, sent the offer in August or something like that. It was still available. Long story short, she helped me. She gave me the confidence to call, because I probably wasn't going to call. I fought through lack of internet connection and all of that, and battled because I couldn't get through to the lady. She tried to call me back, and she couldn't get through to me, and left a voicemail. Like half an hour or so had passed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, call me back, I missed it all. This is, and she worked with me. I told her, look, I'm at a rustic retreat, we have horrible. And she said, I would love to see if we can get you started. And I think she started me the following week after coming back. Everything was still good. And that's the job that, I was on short-term disability for all this year. So it worked out. Things happen for the good, but yeah, this is why the community is, peace and zen for me, and why I feel so connected. And so many of you, know me. Like Sue Layton said the other day, your shopping cart, I don't feel like it's you. Kind of looking back over it, even that day I looked at it and I said, it's not. It's definitely something, these are, differences or things that I thought were back like how we used to shop. Oh, it's cute. So we throwing it in a cart and things like that. But it's because she knows me, we spend time outside of the screen, and she's gotten to know me and things like that. So I kind of appreciate that. Yeah, she was able to see that, say that, and I felt that. Matt says, nope, stays on as long as I have needed. I'll be getting fancy with it. I like that. Uh, you're not the only one. I have one of my sisters. She just got her glue gun maybe 4 or 5 years ago. She didn't have one. We had to talk her into getting one. Um, so, we all come into crafting at our time, at our moment, and it all hits us the same. We all grow into the addiction, and we harness it, we enjoy it, and guess what? We can't wait. We can't wait to let this addiction, just continue to get us through, especially when we have down days and things like that. What do you guys find yourself doing? That's the other thing. So as I've been diamond painting a little bit more, obviously, I don't know if you guys can see with the light off, but I've only worked on it because last week was a bust. I didn't get a chance to do a lot, so I'm almost done. Um, I would say this is, probably something I can get knocked out in one day. And that day will probably be tomorrow or Saturday. Those are really my diamond painting days. Um, you, you see how Cheryl is, you guys, number one enabler. So when I diamond paint, if I'm not watching other creators, then, you know, I, I like something that I can listen to and every once in a while look up at. I don't have to have my face glued and I can still pay attention. And so you guys know I've been stuck in, international drama land. And if it's not Korean or Japanese or Chinese, I probably have not seen it. So I decided that I would try because there's a lot of stuff that I could be doing while I'm listening and looking up. Um, Hence, decorating the house and things of that nature. So I decided to try to see what's on TV. What's on TV? And I ask y'all what y'all are watching and things like that. And it's stuff like, maybe. So I decided I'm going to look for myself, see what I might be interested in. And I have determined that is there TV? I don't feel like there's TV anymore. There's no TV. If there is, I have not stumbled upon it. When I say TV, I mean, 8 o'clock prime time. Used to go from NBC, CBS, ABC. Oh, let's see what's on Fox. They might have something, every once in a while. We're watching cable, syndication, things like that. I think maybe you got to have cable to even try and look and see what's on TV. That's one. Two, do we have networks anymore? I feel like if it's not for CBS, whew, I don't know. There's just not a lot of stuff that's just kind of pulling my attention. What are you guys watching besides, I want to say, besides Netflix, besides Apple TV, besides Prime? What are you guys watching? Things that don't cost us money. As Matt says, Tia be trying to find money. Now I'm trying to save you guys some money because I feel like if you get rid of the cable bill, boom, there's some diamond painting money right there. So we gonna try and help. Now we know Matt is a sports fanatic, and this is the time of the year, especially if you watch football and basketball. This is the time of the year where you guys, may need to spend some money on cable. But we're going to try and figure it out. What's on TV? What do you watch? I have been watching Elsbeth. Do you guys know who she is? Who is enabling now, Miss Tia? That's right. I'm trying to help everybody find money because Black Friday's coming, Cyber Monday's coming, and then you guys all know, even though, you guys can get the sales and things right now, as we get to that final hour, yeah, they always say, get it now, it's going to be the lowest price and things. If they don't have a good Black Friday, I think that's why they open the doors early. Because if they don't have a good Black Friday or Cyber Monday, do we really think that they're not going to have another low price sale? Just think about it. Now, I know we don't want to run the risk. So that's why we fall into those traps and things like that. But We're still trying to help you find the money. So, with that said, if we save money on cable and streaming services now, canceling those out and things like that, because we've moved over to watching primetime TV or YouTube, um, then we have money for crafts. We can buy more diamond paintings, or we can buy sparklers. Woo! I'm telling you. Or on top of sparklers, um, we can buy diamond paint pens. We can buy some PalmPal pens. That was supposed to happen. As you guys, let me see if I can do it like this. Woo! Alrighty. Yep. Um, these are all brand new, except this one. You guys know this is Mermaid's Kiss. That's old. These are all brand new, so I have been trying to work on new color combinations. This is Sunset Paradise. This is the new Sparkle All the Way. I think I showed it to you guys, but they weren't finished yet. I had not sealed them yet. Um, Now this one right here, I was trying to do for the 4th of July. It's like a red, white, and blue. Um, I don't have a name for it. Um, yeah. So I have 2 other new pens and things like that. But again, we all, we all crafting, trying to make money and things like that, trying to save you money so that you can buy, so that you can shop. I do have one of these pens, or the 2 Sunset Paradise pens, those are already taken. The red, white, and blue pen, that is going to Cynthia Gantz. I want to make sure I'm saying her last name right. That's going out to her. She has a Cotton Candy Delight, and she has one other pen that I'm sending, but because my hands weren't working, I kept holding off sending her package off to her, and I want to make sure she gets rewarded. So there we go. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. So I do have 2 other new pens that I haven't shown, and those will be going out. And then I have some pins that were left back from Great Lakes Escape. Those will probably, you guys will see them coming up pretty soon. And they are the smaller ones, because you guys know I went from Little Pup, which were my smaller pins, to these Curvy Gals. The Curvy Gals are the ones, they fit directly in the palm. They're 5 inches. The little pups were 3.5 inch, and they were mostly used to add detail. So if you were someone who liked confetti, obviously those smaller little pups, they helped out because they were easier to move back and forth, into switching when it came to working with multiple colors and things. These ones right here, because they have a better grip, I do recommend them because I like to flip. So I flip from single to multi-place. I feel like it's the perfect size to do that. In any case, you guys will see those coming up. That's what I have new. The other thing, I know that you guys are probably underway with Sparkle All the Way that just started on the 1st. We're coming into, thank you, Marquita Quickie. We're coming into, I think it's week 2 coming up when it comes to Sparkle All the Way. And so the Sparkle All the Way pins, although they will, be up for sale, I believe there's an opportunity to win 2 of them, as well as a gift card to be able to purchase. Like, what if that's not your color? Like, I don't know if Matt would like that. How would he feel winning the Sparkle All the Way pen when I got a Sunset Paradise or a Great Lakes Escape? If you don't know, Great Lakes Escape is blue, it's pearl white, and it's silver with glitter all through. I got that because obviously Great Lakes blue, their first year, their colors were blue and white. They've gone on to change the color scheme a couple of times, but the first year they were blue and white, and I left the pen that color because it was called Great Lakes Escape pen. But he might be a Great Lakes Escape person. So the opportunity to win gift card to get a pen that better suits, is also going to be a prize for the Sparkle All the Way. After Sparkle All the Way, which ends, in December, we will be kicking off our sixth year, our sixth annual Blinging in the New Year. That is where we kick off the new year. We are picking a canvas. Now, our canvas is going to be from Captured by Radiance. We are doing Mickey Bergman, Love Imbued, and Heart on the Sleeve. So you will be able to head over to Capture by Radiance. If you don't already have a code, like Rhonda has a code that you can use for a discount, and Lizzie has a code that you can use for a discount. You can either buy that, but we don't have a canvas of choice. Those will just be the canvases. You'll see me, Tima, and DP Addiction Adventures, my sister J Rob. You'll see us working on. So you'll start to see videos coming because we're going to be unboxing those canvases. Can't wait. Yay! So that you can see those. But that kicks off January 1st. February 1st, you guys heard it here. It's one of the most fun collabs all year. Love is in the air. Woo! We have asked Crafting with Mary and her beau to appear on the show. Woohoo! So you do have that to look forward to. We had some single gentlemen on the show a few years ago. That would be Prince, my son, and his two best friends. They were on the show, and we had an opportunity to ask them about love and crafting. Um, my son is a crafter. They at the time were doing some embroidery because they were trying to kick off. It was a great idea. It really was. I commend the fellas, but they were trying to start their own embroidery shop where they embroidered. They worked not worked. They worked out at a Muay Thai gymnasium where people went in and they kind of worked out, but they did it in crews. And there were so many crews, like 5 or 6 different crews. And they would come in, they would all have their same gear on, and they'd have the backpacks and the bags and the robes and the shorts. Everything was embroidered with the crew's insignia. And so they had this idea to where they would become the embroidery company to help with gear, and they could swap out gear and things like that. It was a great idea. It was 4 or 5 of them in the group, and only 2 of them was doing all the work. The others, they were just, having fun saying, yeah, we in the group, yeah, when other people were around and things like that, or when it was time to get paid. But it was really just 2 of them that was doing all the work. And I'm sure you guys can figure out what occurred. But it was a great idea. Because they were part of the crafting community, we, myself and Lizzie, did take the opportunity to kind of, talk to them about crafting as well as dating, because we kind of fused the 2 subjects together. And dating from the male perspective, being single, and how, they try to juggle the 2, their craft, work, as well as, trying to date and things. And it was a lot of fun. And I've spoken to a couple of them. They're not still crafting, but I did want to see if they were interested in doing a follow up. And for now, they are. So you guys have those 2 to look forward to. Mary says, "Oh boy, I can't wait." Um, um, uh, love is in the air. We get a lot of compliments about love is in the air. Our numbers are off the chart. It is for me one of the most successful, events, and so I enjoy it. That will be my, I think, number 6 for Love is in the Air also. So, wow, we having a good time. We gonna have a good time. Um, and then you guys know March. Oh, also in January. I didn't see it, but Ticket to Ride starts in January. That is, um, that's an event that my love has asked me to co-host. I just have so much going on in January and February that I have not been able to do that. But I do love that it is an event that is near and dear to her heart, And I think it's a lot of fun. A lot of people talk about Ticket to Ride, earning their tickets, and and we start to hear a lot about it, especially as my event is coming to an end, because that's when everybody's really starting to count up their tickets and things. Coming into March, we got the hashtag Get Your Weird On. I think that's gonna be year 3 or 4 for that. And then back in April, I'm back again before everybody start getting out their house for the hotter weather, with Splish Splash Spring Bash. So we do have a lot that we're looking forward to. We have a lot coming up. Love jumping on and showing you guys my progress, how I'm overcoming, especially they call it the DP burnout. So, love giving you guys those. I can't wait to find out the Ticket to Ride theme for 2026. See, I know a lot of you guys talk about it all the time. You can find Cheryl, she be in here a lot of times on Wednesdays. She come in late, but she always comes, so I still love her. But if you do need to reach out, you can. You can always reach out to me to get a message to her as well. You guys see, I do have on my DPPD t-shirt. Sorry. One of these days I'm gonna stand up. I just don't want to blind you guys with all these shoulders. Um, but I do have my DPPD t-shirt on. I do have one for Lizzie and one for J Rob. I will be getting shirts out to Crashly and Rebecca, and I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I was trying to get a shirt up into Canada for Janae, and one to her sister. That's Captured by Radiance. They did tell me that they may just go ahead and get theirs in Michigan when we go to the Mingo and the Mitten retreat in May. So we'll see. We will see. We will see. But again, the president, the head of DPPD, that's Lizzie. I'm just allowed to wear the shirt. Apparently, they formed all the rules because I've been breaking them. um, so, so with that said, what you guys been working on? What are you guys? I know Mary told me the other day that going into 2026, she already knows that she is going to do less collabs. What are you guys working on right now? What are your plans? Do you schedule your diamond? I remember, uh, Cheryl, I know you can remember this. Do you remember when we used to schedule our projects? It's like, oh, and I'm gonna do this one, then this should take me about 30 to 40 days. Then I'm gonna start on this one. Oh, I'll be ready. I got this. Do you remember when we used to do that, schedule our projects? Me and Cheryl had a project scheduled for like a year and a half in advance. We've yet to, I mean, so much other stuff came along and things like that. But I think 2020, April of 2020, we had a project that we had scheduled. We scheduled it in 2019. Still have yet to start that. We didn't been through a pandemic. Oh yes, sure did. That's haven't done that one important one. We have not. We have not. Uh I do remember though we used to do that. And so it was really refreshing when Mary said the other day, I think I'm gonna pull back on doing so many other collabs and things. So I'm working on 2 whips. I have, my goal is to have them done by December 31st so I can go into 2026 with no whips. You sound like Lizzie Mutnut. Lizzie did have I think she had 7 whips, and her goal by the end of 2025, she started them though in 2024, but her goal by the end of 2025 was to complete all of her works in progress. And I know that you guys watch her unboxings and things. She has accomplished that goal. So it's back over to me to keep receiving all of her penalties or tickets as I call them, or she gonna write me up and put me in DP jail. I remember that you had a ton. I had 11 in September, but down to two now. Spell check had something else in mind. Yep, I figured you did when I saw the word testicle. Uh, 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 I don't know where it came from. I skipped over it like the, true champion that, that I am. I just remember 2019 in March. It had to be maybe February, March of that year, and we talked about doing it the following year, April, and April was special to us both. And we still yet to get around to it. Tickets, is that what you was? Girl, you was way off. Matt says, I was just getting into events and blinging in the new year was my first this past year. Look at you. So, blinging in the new year, my boy, Man Bun, you guys probably have seen him in the past. He is a blinger. So, he has been an art teacher. He was a substitute teacher, and art was he, obviously went to art school and things like that. Art was the subject that he was teaching when his passion just came alive. He does like the art of customization. So he loves to take the canvases and kind of add his own flair to them. And he does so. He had a unique process. He has a Bible and he is very methodical about how he does. Some of us, we just sprinkle a little love here. Some of us, like me, I have what I call customary and usual, so I pretty much do this. I make water wet. I make, trees look, leaves look like, they're moving. You have to move your head. Obviously this is still 2D image and things like that. But I like to work with the mediums that give you that impression and things like that. He likes to almost change out complete canvases and things. And so every January I do have him on just because he might have, learned some different things. There's been new, obviously, Tima, she always introduces new mediums. So she might have one year, I remember when metallics came out. I remember when slivers came out and things like that. And we couldn't wait to get those mediums and try them in our canvases and things. So he'll be on my show and he'll talk about some of the things that he has done and something he's really good. His sister used to be a makeup artist, and she got sick, and while she was sick he helped treat her and get her to the doctor. She was sick with cancer, and he just took a lot of notes. Art was already near and dear to his heart, and so because of that, they had something that they could bond with and things. But I love that he is able to do some daring things when it comes to makeup. He blends the makeup on these canvases in a way that we don't see done, when it comes to hand charting and things. So he does that. A lot of people feel like his greatest work was the work he did on the People's Princess, Princess Diana. He didn't feel like the artwork did her justice. And so he made it more regal and royal, and he did a fantastic job. And so he'll obviously be on hand to show those. And then, obviously, if you have watched over the years, you have definitely seen his works on the Mandy Manzano princesses. Mulan, in particular, that one came out absolutely phenomenal. And obviously he'll talk about that and he'll showcase it. He did Snow White as well. He's done quite a few of them. And so just kind of give you guys something to look forward to. Make sure that you guys stay tuned, coming back on Wednesdays every other Saturday, because I do a morning laughs show with my bestie there in Canada. Her name is Lizzie of Lizzie's World of Gems. Use the same canvas for both the events. I agree. Stunning. A lot of people say that was their favorite piece that he's done. Mulan. Mulan is a special piece. My great grandmother. She is Chinese, and I feel a kinship with what he did with Mulan. Not just because of that, but you know how I feel about green. And he did a fantastic job when he looked into other, like he took it a way above just getting some sparklers and way above getting some crystals and things. And so I don't, try and touch on, step on his toes too much. I just invite you guys back to watch those shows and to come with your questions and things. Now, this year, because again, I do pretty much the same thing, and my favorite is landscapes. Love scenery, love landscapes. I love a good water scene with some kind of mountain in the background. Doesn't have to be prominent, just it could be in the background, and things like that. Um, and maybe a beach or something wet. Those are like my areas. But this year, I am going to be taking suggestions for enhancements from other people. Now I know, I believe that there is already an enhancement kit for Love Imbued, and that's what I'll be working on. It's big because Capture by Radiance, they come for you. They want to make sure when you sit down, you have work to do on the canvases. But they are great. They are stunning canvases. And so because of that, that's why you guys see me working on these smaller diamond paintings, because I didn't want to try to do too much when it came to these larger ones. This is my third canvas in a month and a half. Is it month? Yeah, month and a half. Third canvas. My coffee time, you guys know I end up having to chuck. The diamonds were just horrible. Now I may be able to keep that one around and just get new diamonds, but the ones that came with it, it was double-sided adhesive also. Um, but I may be able to keep that and just maybe try and find better diamonds elsewhere. But the diamonds were horrible, unfortunately. That's what happens when we purchase from our favorite AliExpress. The diamonds weren't always the best, especially back in the double-sided adhesive days. So I moved over to my Amazon special. I'm having a good time. The diamonds are not bad. It's just really about having the time to sit down and actually work on it. Other than that, that's where I am. My canvas in January, I will do quite a bit of changing drills with drills I haven't used before. I need to pull it out and make sure I have all the drills I need. Definitely pull it out. Make sure you have all the drills that you need, some that you may not, get ready to, try something different. We just require 2 additional, changes, and then obviously at least 30 by 40 area left to complete. Obviously, you're not stuck with a particular canvas. It's really just about having a good time and kind of learning to enjoy customizing the canvas to create or speak to your own creativity. So, with that said, I'm going to see you guys back here next Wednesday. And then obviously next week, me and Lizzie will be going live on our morning laugh show. Hopefully, you guys will see me. I definitely don't want to move back just yet to anything too big. So once this is done, I am either going to work on, now I did get a vote, and the vote was for, but even Matt was not happy with the make market squares. So the goal is, once I finish this, I'm going to at least do an unboxing. I'm going to try and place or pluck. I say pluck. I'm going to try and place down a few drills just to see what the quality is like. Did y'all see that? The light just came back on again by itself. And it's dimming by itself. Telling you guys, because Harvey's the ghost that grew up in my mom's house, or my mom hung out with, and I think she left him here when she moved out. I'm just saying. Anyway, so that was the request by Lizzie to do the Christmas castle. It is kind of big. It's 40 by 50, and I didn't know if I wanted to go that large yet. Some other things that I was thinking about working on are, I do have some paint gems, and I was thinking about that. I also have a Wicked canvas that I may pull out, because obviously you guys know part two is coming out to the movies. I did finally get around to seeing the first one, and my daughter and my friend Ty, in case Ty is in here tonight, um, they said that I remind them of Ariana's character. I'm gonna tell you, I would not, if that were me and Lizzie, I wouldn't have left Lizzie behind like Ariana left. What's the girl's name? The green one? I forget her name. I wouldn't have left her behind. Now I know that they're talking about the wardrobe and things because she was like, everything's so glittery, everything's so sparkly. Oh, that's definitely me. But I wouldn't have left Lizzie behind. Um, Matt says, I do want to see how this year's are. I do like some of the art, and it's a great deal if it's enjoyable. There you go. Good opportunity to take out a biggin for Ticket to Ride is 3 months. Oh, that's a good way to say it. So if you guys didn't know, now you know. Ticket to Ride is 3 months. So it is, if you do have a project that's huge, huge, that might be a great opportunity for you to get started on a big one. I do have a big one, but this Mickey Bergman is gorgeous. So here's the thing. There's not a lot of his that I don't like. I already had his Rainbow Dragon. I got that from Dreamer. You guys know I'm an affiliate of Dreamer Design, so make sure you head over, enjoy yourself, and use code TF15. It, you may get a message that said you can't use it anymore. This year, the last 6 months, I have started to hear that, but there were times where people have used the code repeatedly. Keep trying or use a different email. Just saying. Jump into your painting on your virtual vacation. I think that's a great idea. I do. I think that's a really good idea. Other than that, uh, I really want to get into. Have you guys started watching Countdown to Christmas? There's Countdown to Christmas. There's the Great American Christmas, Country Christmas, whatever is said on GAC. Lifetime Movie Network. They have some Christmas movies, and I'm starting to see more Christmas content on Netflix. Tia be saving that money through nefarious means. I certainly do, Matt. um, so, so what I'm trying to do, to be honest, is, I used to enjoy my glass of wine, especially on Friday. So Fridays, I would come in, I may have a glass of wine, not going anywhere. And y'all remember my blue and turquoise lounger? Everybody used to love that lounger. I remember I wore it to a retreat and it was like, there she is. And I was like, uh-oh, they watching my show. So I remember those nights. I couldn't wait. I mean, I used to take a hot shower as hot as I could get it. And I come out and I'm all refreshed. And guess what? I'm putting my lounger on. I'm gonna get my wine. I'm gonna sit down and I'm a diamond paint. It was so much fun. So much fun. And I remember I used to watch Mickey Sunshine Creates Into DP Addiction. That Adventures. That's J Rob. I was back with Miss Coffee. And then I did some craziness after Miss Ruby. Remember Ruby Q? That was my girl. So me and Ruby was on the same team. Me, her. Can't you imagine me, Ruby, and Redneck on the same team? We used to be on the same team. Oh man, we used to have so much fun behind the scenes. Those were the days. And then I had a friend. Her name is Melissa Brown, Melissa B. She had a channel. Crafting with Melissa B and me. And we would go live late night on Friday after I've been drinking wine. And anything went. While you guys diamond painted, we held the discussions for you and we had a ball. So I remember those days. Saturdays, I love apple beer. So I used to, Ruby Q is a hoot. Um, yep. And Melissa, we were all, yeah, we'd be up all night. We'd be up. It was nothing for me to go to bed at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock my time would be 7 o'clock there. So we'd be up laughing. Rachel popped on too from Ireland. Rachel, Rachel Ray, that's my girl. Rachel would come on. We just used to have a good time. I miss those days. And that's what I would love to see recaptured, where we are just, vibing out, we're tuning in. I can't wait to sit down. We used to get a lot done. I remember Lizzie went face planted into a drink one night. We had a lot of fun. I remember we used to do pajama. You remember we used to do pajama lives? It'd be like 10 of us in a live. And we all got on our pajama jammies and things. Uh, we are old in the community, right? Cheryl? We are so old. But we have such a vibrant new community of people. I would love to see all of that recreated because they deserve to have some fun also. So I remember Redneck called me Goober. That was my nickname. She was like, "You such a goober." So miss her and her stories, her and Meadow. Shout out to them and their babies, you know. Ruby Q and her babies. I know them boys are probably huge now. She was crazy, yes. uh, so, we've had some fun over the years. I love, that part of the community where I felt connected. We all were like going from, oh, did you hear? Oh, did you see what such and such opened? Oh, did you see who, was working on such and such? Um, that's the reason why I don't do unboxings. I remember, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me say this before. My mother, she clowned me when she first moved in with me. She clowned me really bad. She was like, I couldn't wait for my diamond painting to come in. And I remember it was like trying to get into a jump rope. I'm like, ooh. And when I get it, I have my plans and stuff like that. When I get it, I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say that because such and such said that. I'm gonna focus on this. I'm gonna focus on this. And my mom was like, "That's what you spending all this money on? Y'all all buy the same painting, and then y'all get on y'all little phones and y'all all unbox it and show the same canvas, and then you can't wait till the next one." I'm like, "Stop! You, it's not like that." She said, "You over here frothing at the mouth. You can't wait to show the same canvas, but you gonna say it in a different way. What's new? What's new about it?" And I said, Mom," and she took and she with her needle popped all the wind out of my balloon. And so when y'all hear Lizzie getting on me, "Oh, you should do more unboxings." That's why I don't do unboxings, because they've been done. And by the time I get them, they used to have a warehouse here in Nevada. And I could order on Sunday and have it by Tuesday. That's no longer the case anymore. I'm on the opposite end of the world. And so everybody get their diamond paintings before I do now. Have you heard from Melissa? Um, let's see. Hold on one second. Have you? It's really slow. Sorry about that. Here we go. I'm trying to get it to show, but it's coming up. Have you heard from Melissa? You were so close to each other. Melissa lives 10 minutes from here. Melissa lived 10 minutes from here, but unfortunately, she ended up having to go back to work. And so when she went back to work, that really changed like her schedule, her crafting, and when she would be available and things like that. And you guys know, as an adjuster, I work from home. Even when I was training, I used to be a trainer, and then I moved from training over into what they call high reserve adjusting. I mean, like I'm handling Ferraris and Hummer EV3s and, real expensive vehicles because they required, a higher payout when they had damage and things. Um, and so our hours conflicted and things. But every once in a while she'll reach out and she'll be like, "How you doing?" It's it's just like that. Mama always knows what's up. Man, that my mom would be on me. I remember Cheryl tried to talk her into this was not a great idea. But Cheryl tried to talk her into having her own YouTube where she cooked. And for the next 3 weeks, she tried to get every recipe she ever came across. And she want us to taste test it. I was so mad with you, Cheryl. I'll never forget. Like, I've already eaten today. I don't want to eat anymore. The shoulders is big enough. But yes, it would have been awesome. Probably. But we need somewhere for the food to go. We can't just be eating all this food and taking pictures. And so mimosa Sundays, my mom used to make mimosas. And so I had my wine on Friday. I had apple beer on Saturday. And we woke up to mimosas. My mom used to make mimosas every Sunday. Whew, those was the days, is what I mean. And she met somebody and ran away in the middle of the night. And she been gone ever since. I hear from her, but she didn't want the guilt. She didn't want the guilt of being feed the hungry girl, feed the hungry. That would have been a good idea, to be honest. To be able to take, smaller portions, maybe, kind of box them and bag them up and things and pass them out and things. That would have been a good idea. But for 2 or 3 weeks, she went through every recipe. And I'm like, Mom, she was just making a suggestion. We don't have to do everything. No, no, no. I'm like, that's a good idea. I'm going to give it a try. Mom, I already ate today. Remember, she might make hash browns, eggs, pancakes, or waffles, sausage, bacon, or eggs and toast for breakfast. That's like the whole day's worth of meals, if you ask me. We didn't hit all the food groups 3 or 4 times. And then because my mom is tiny, she was like a 4. She didn't have these shoulders. I got these from my dad. But she's like 5'3". She probably, if it's soaking wet, might be she says she was more than 120 pounds, but she might be 120, maybe 110 pounds. She wore a size 4. And she used to say stuff like, "You gotta eat," because she could eat. I feel like skinny people eat more than bigger people. I don't know how that's possible, but she's always eating like, "Oh, I'm hungry." Then you just eat. You just ate 2 hours ago. You hungry again, like full on big giant meal hungry. So, and it's all Cheryl's fault. I'm blaming her because she, for these weeks, she was cooking everything. Everything. I'm like, Mom, I can't eat. I cannot. I just ate. It's been 3 hours. It was 2.5 hours ago. You need to keep your metabolism up. And how you do that is you eat, eat, eat. Oh, she did all that eating. But that woman hate water. Hate water. I drink water. Water and milk. My two, that's it. I love milk. But, I got to water the milk down. So I drink water. And my mom, she hate water. Y'all sure make water look good. Is that all you drinking is water? I thought it was vodka. so, so she was definitely cute. That's why she gone and ran off in the middle of the night. It literally is the middle of the night, y'all. So my daughter gave me a hint. Oh, she had told me. I just didn't believe her. She said, "I hear her. She be talking on the phone. I think it's some man." I'm like, "For real?" She was like, "Yeah." I ain't believe her. Who would believe her? She's not young. That was not cute. Exactly. And she kept saying, "I think she got a boyfriend." She went to go get the mail one time. I'll never forget. She was gone. It take 7 minutes maybe to go walk up to the mailbox. We got a hub, and then to turn around and come back. Maybe 7 minutes. I look up, it's been over 30 minutes. What the heck she at? So I'm looking for her. Another 15 minutes go by, no her. I go out walking, looking for her. I don't know where she is at all whatsoever. So all of a sudden I hear, well, thank you. Okay. She coming out of some gentleman's apartments in the same complex. And she don't see me, but I see her. And as she walk away, she like patting her head and she switching. I was like, Miss Thing, what is you doing? Hello? And she's like, huh? Flat busted. Whose house you coming out of? Huh? She got the big you ever heard that saying, if you can hear, why is you That was her. Swear to goodness. She found someone who was hungry. Yep, Matt. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. That is exactly what. And so, obviously she was older and things. My stepfather, once he had passed away, when she first came to stay, she was in one position in her mindset. She didn't want to be in their home by herself anymore and things. But as she got out here and started to find her way and things like that, she just needed to communicate that, and she didn't. And I think she felt kind of guilty that she was lightweight moving on. I think it felt good that other, somebody else was finding, comfort in her, and I found her attractive and things. I told her, if you don't get your old butt back in this house, um she out here switch. Who switches? Who switches? Woman, do you realize you are over a quarter of a century? If you don't sit down somewhere, she didn't look her age at all. A lot of people thought she and I were sisters. And obviously she was the older sister. uh, uh, But to be honest, those were definitely the days, the mimosa Sundays. I miss those. We had a good time back then. We did. So I'm doing my best to see what we can do about, just recapturing those moments. Now, if you guys were with us Sunday on me and Lizzie's Morning Laughs, you know that we are trying to create a virtual retreat because we want more people to be able to at least come together, fellowship. You guys are going to get a snippet of that if you watch the Christmas premieres. Those will be coming up. We are all underway behind the scenes with trying to come up with ideas and creating our videos. That's going to give you guys over 72 hours. It's going to start Christmas Eve. It's going to run all day Christmas Day into Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. So you guys will get to interact and to hang out and hear some fun stories from several different YouTube creators. It's a great time to try and get to know and see other creators that you may not be familiar with. This is going to be a fun time. And from those, we are hoping to gather a few more creators and, come up with some sort of virtual retreat. I know that they've been done in the past. Obviously, we want to, give you guys just a great time. We want to have several of us at a time, maybe have a Q&A, have some artist interviews, and then, try a different craft or two so that you guys have things to look forward to. But most importantly, it's a time for you guys to come together, not just like with the premieres, but in a live environment where you can connect and interact with us as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned because DPPD, they are trying to put things together for your viewing pleasure. Eh. Um, Other than that, it's been a good time tonight. I know y'all know that I can talk. Somebody told me before, you should do a virtual retreat. Sounds fun. Yes, it definitely is. I went to one before, and like Cheryl was saying, we used to have these Zooms, um, and it's going to be akin to how we did the Zooms. But again, you'll have the ability to kind of interact. It'll be perfect if we can get like Rachel Ray and some of the, overseas creators, because, they used to be a part of our thons. We used to have DP-a-thons and things. And so, definitely stay tuned for those. The Christmas premieres, those will be coming up. Obviously, you can interact with the audience and things like that, but the premieres are shot in advance, and you guys will come in and just, be able to laugh and hear stories and things while you're crafting and doing other things. But make sure you guys stay tuned. We did the virtual retreats during the first actual retreat. I did the scavenger hunts and more. That's right. So make sure that we are all staying connected, because that's what we're trying to, get back together, get those going, so that we have a new, I guess, new freshman class, I guess is the best way to say it. And with that new freshman class, we want to make sure that we're keeping it fresh, fun, and interesting for them as well. So I feel like, that's where maybe burnout came from, where, we weren't, it wasn't as fresh, it wasn't as fun. So we're moving on to something, new and different, and then still trying to, maintain focus. So coming back and starting back where it all came from, hence my double-sided adhesive, that really did new my fervor. Virtual retreat sounds great. Love that. I'm so glad. I'm glad. So we're going to keep getting the word out, because we are working behind the scenes, and we're going to present something for you guys so that you have something to look forward to as well. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Look at that. I got you done in under 2 hours, hour and 50 minutes. Just so you guys, take you back in time. My show always used to be 2 hours. And then I shortened it to an hour. And I was trying my hardest to stay at an hour, but a lot of times I try and get out what I got to get out. And I know I go late into the evening and things like that. This is a perfect, time and things for me. And I think that I have so many of you who come back and you do hit me up on hashtag replay. And then you guys reach out directly to me. I love that. I love that. So that's why it has stayed. Lisette has a lot of people. Let me see what that says. Lisette has a lot of people talking about doing a lot of their older canvases next year. So we might have to get with her and have a communication, see what she's going to go back to, because I'm telling you, I really believe that that is where my renewed fervor came from. There has not, with the exception of last week. So I already, with the exception of last week, there hasn't been since we started the double-sided adhesive, there hadn't been a week that went by where I wasn't diamond painting. This is my third diamond painting since then. And I believe that was that August? I think might have been September, but I feel like that, renewed my fervor. And so I'm back every week. I'm diamond painting and things like that. And I think that might be something that would be a good idea to kind of focus on. Take it back to where it all began. Let's get back to freshman year. You remember freshman year? We were young, and we were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and we looked forward to what we thought the next 4 years would be. Same thing with the diamond painting. When I first started diamond painting, I was young and I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, full of fervor. And I remember when that addiction hit, I'm like, oh, this is cute. I don't know what I spent more time doing, shopping or diamond painting, but I know that I got it in. So I want to do that for you guys. Hopefully you guys will stay tuned, come back for a little bit more. Thank you all for hanging out, having a good night. And I will see you guys next week on Hump Day Happenings. You guys have a good evening. Bye.